Good afternoon and welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is today's play by play broadcast for the Yankees versus the Mets. The game starts in about 5 minutes. This is a start at Marcus Stroman's last start before the season begins, so it's his tune-up. And it appears that we will be playing some players that may be trying to earn that last second spot on the major league roster. We signed a left-handed pitcher, Yarbrough, released from the Blue Jays. He's a solid bullpen / starter. So he should be value added to the team. Want to give a shout out to Bilfer and Pito. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Game starts in about 4 minutes or so. So doing a little bit of chatting beforehand. The Yankees still appear to be looking for a right-handed bat who can play either third base or corner outfield spot. Few people available. Brandon Drury was released from the Chicago White Sox, and former Yankee, hit well, but he was injured. I think he's suffering a broken left thumb right now. So he's out there, but I don't believe that we'll be bringing him on board because of the injury. Another player out there, Garrett Hampstead, formerly of the Rockies. He was in the Diamondbacks spring training camp. He's a multi-positional infielder and has played outfield. Great speed, and this spring training he hit right around 300. So he's someone who may pique the Yankees' interest. He would definitely be a good bench step piece. We still have Oswald Peraza fighting for a slot. Pablo Reyes also. When looking at the depth chart numbers, it looks like Reyes has taken a jump to the number one backup. So I'm anticipating that he's going to end up making the squad coming out of spring training. They've already announced that Carlos Carrasco has made the rotation. Will Warren is going to be part of the rotation also. JC Escara has basically hit his way onto the major league roster as a backup catcher. Without a doubt, Trent Grisham is going to be one of the bench pieces for depth. Welcome, FJ. Appreciate you showing up for the broadcast. We're probably about, 2 minutes until the game starts. Right now we're in a commercial break. The Yankees travel to the Met Stadium. They showed some footage of Boone and Soto hugging it out, having a conversation. So it appears that they're wanting to let bygones be bygones, which is fine. Soto chose to become a Met, which is definitely his choice, and the Yankees have moved on from it. Hopefully we meet in the World Series. That'd be a fantastic determine who's the king of the hill. Today's lineup is going to start out at first base with Ben Rice, then Jason Dominguez in left field, Jazz Chisholm at second, J.C. Escara at catcher, Everson Pereira be DHing, Oswaldo Cabrera third base, Pablo Reyes in right field. Ishmael Mungaya is in center field. And hitting ninth is Oswaldo Peraza at second base. And let's see, Ryan Stanek is going to take the mound for the Mets today. Pitched in 63 games last season between Seattle and the Mets. ERA of 4.88. He had 7 saves and 11 opportunities. Pitched in 55 innings, had 67 strikeouts. Defensive alignment for today is going to be Torrens behind the dish, Vientos at third, Lindor at short, Beatty at second, Alonso at first, Soto in right, Siri in center, and Nimmo in left. So it's pretty much the Mets' day one opening day lineup. And Stanek is getting his last few warm-up pitches in before the game starts. We are 3 days until opening day, and this spring training, I have liked what I've seen. The Yankees have definitely improved their defense, seen definite improvements on hitting versus left-handed pitching, and definite improvements in situational hitting and the utilization of speed. Let us see. Stanek winds up for his first pitch, a fastball high and outside for ball one. And here's the start of the game. Stanek sets, and he fires a fastball that Rice swings through to even the count at 1-1. We're at the top of the first inning, and Ben Rice is up to bat. Stanek fires another fastball that Rice fouls off in the stands, bringing the count to 1-2. Last year, during the regular season, the Subway Series did not go well for us. We lost all 4 games to the Mets. So this is our only spring training appearance against them. So we will see what we have. Stanek fires a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, which is fouled off by Rice once again. Interesting, Stanek is a back-end bullpen arm, and he's starting the game today. Let's see. Stanek sets, and he fires a slider off the plate to bring the count to 2-2. I see that. And Stanek fires a curveball that is fouled off by Rice. Count is still 2-2. See that John the Beagle Dad has hopped in, and I want to say welcome. And Cold Italian Pizza, thanks for coming and supporting the stream. Stanek sets and he fires. Rice hits a fly ball to mid right field. Soto follows it and puts it away for the first out of the inning. Appears to be windy. The ball was drifting significantly as Soto was closing on it. All right. Jason Dominguez steps up to the plate, and Stanek fires a changeup up high for ball one. Last year, Jason Dominguez in 18 games hit 179 with 2 home runs. Stanek fires a fastball that Dominguez fouls off down the third base line. Count is even at 1-1. There's 1 out with no runners on base. Stanek sets, fires a fastball down low to bring the count to 2-1. I am liking where the Yankees are moving towards. We've gotten a bit younger. Stanek fires another fastball down low for ball 3. Count is now 3-1 with 1 out and no runners on. The Yankees have not a highly rated farm system because so many players graduated to the major leagues. Stanek fires a fastball off the plate for ball 4 as Dominguez takes his gear off and heads to first base for a first base runner of the day. And we have young Jazz Chisholm stepping up to the plate. Jazz is set. Stanek fires a fastball down low. Jazz checks his swing, and third base umpire indicates no swing. Ball 1. Jazz takes time out and he steps out of the box. He's got something in his eye. He's adjusting his helmet. And Jazz is back in the box. Stanek sets. Looks like Lindor is shading Jazz damn near it right over second base. Stanek fires a slider down low for call, strike 1. The count is now evened at 1-1. And Jazz challenges the call. ABS has the pitch as a strike, so the Yankees lose their first challenge. And Stanek fires a fastball off the plate again to bring the count to 2-1. Yankees have a runner at first with 1 out. Stanek fires a fastball inside for ball 3. The count is now 3-1. If Jazz walks, want to bet that we see the racetrack starting? They've been doing double steals here lately over the last few games. Stanek fires a fastball at the knees for call, strike 2. The count is now full. Stanek fires another ball off the plate for ball 4. And we have J.C. Escara, the newest Yankee to make the roster, stepping up to the plate. In AAA last year, Escara hit .261 with 12 home runs and 64 RBIs. Welcome to the team, J.C. Well deserved. We are in the top of the first with 1 out. Yankees have runners at first and second. Stanek sets up and fires a fastball inside to Escara for ball 1. Dominguez takes a small lead, expands it, and sort of a ridiculous play. Chisholm started to go, but Dominguez did not go. The catcher fires the ball to Alonso at first base, but Alonso is nowhere near the bag. So hence, runners are back safe. And the count is 2-0. Stanek sets, and he fires a fastball down low and off the plate to bring the count to 3-0. 3-0. And we see Everson Pereira sitting on deck. Stanek fires a fastball that catches the outside corner to bring the count to 3-1. Stanek is currently at 22 pitches this inning. Stanek fires another fastball on the outside that catches the corner for strike two. Count is now full, 3-2 with one out, runners at first and second. We are in the top of the first with no score. And Ascaro hits a line drive straight at the center fielder. Runners are not able to advance. So that is the second out of the inning. Runners at first and second. And we have the DH for today, Everson Pereira, stepping up to the plate. Looks like the Mets pitching coach is pulling Stanek out of the game, so we're going to have a little bit of a pause while their bullpen brings in another pitcher. Stanek is exiting the game with 24 pitches. So it's good to see that the Yankee hitters are displaying patience at the plate, not wildly swinging. Although we don't have a hit today, we have 2 walks already. We've driven the count up on the pitcher, which has forced him out of the game also. And it looks like we're trying to be a little bit aggressive with the leadoffs that the runners are taking. It looks like Dominguez just didn't feel confident that he was going to make it to third and didn't steal after Jazz saw him going. I'm excited to see what the potential running game could be with this team. There are a fair amount of decent speed players out here, and with the modifications to the rules, only 2 pickoff attempts allowed at any particular base during an at bat. The expanded size of the bases. I see Sean Browning has jumped in, and welcome to the broadcast, Sean. So the run game could be key with this. We've seen teams in the major leagues who have effectively used the run game. Arizona Diamondbacks being one, and basically ran themselves to the World Series. And against us last year, the Boston Red Sox tortured us also. All right. Let's see. Dakota Hawkins comes in replace of Ryan Stanek, and he has thrown his first pitch for a ball. He fires a changeup that Pereira check swings, but umpire at first calls it a strike. So the count is now even at 1-1. Pereira last season at AAA Scranton hit .265, 10 home runs with 27 RBIs. And Pereira swings over the top of a sinker to bring the count to 1-2. Yankees have runners at first and second with 2 outs. Oswald Hawkins fires a changeup out off the plate to even the count up at 2-2. Everson has the opportunity to drive in the first run of the game. He takes a fastball inside, 92 mile an hour, then he fouls off. Count remains at 2-2. And Pereira swings through another changeup to strike out and end the inning. Yankees leave 2 runners on. We have no runs, no hits, and the Mets have no errors. The team that we have is the team that we have, and they will play to the best of their abilities. It's sort of funny. A lot of the predictive analytics people had The Yankees, with the loss of Juan Soto, winning about 90 games this season. After Cole, Heel, Stanton went down, they have got us winning 78 games, averaging ballpark, and being fourth in the division, which I think is an extremely high stretch. However, whatever engine they're using to run their predictive analytics, good luck. Last year, the Yankees were predicted to win 74 games and finish in the cellar, and we won 94 and ended up in the World Series. So, all right, today's starting lineup for the Mets. We have Lindor leading off at short, Soto in right field hitting second, Alonso at first hitting third, Nimmo left field hitting fourth, Vientos at third, and they flipped the screen. We have Marcus Stroman on the bump in his fourth outing of the season. And we have Lindor up at the plate. Stroman sets and he fires a fastball that misses up high, 89 mile an hour. This spring training, Lindor is hitting a 194 clip. Stroman fires a strike fastball up high, called strike one, evens the count 1-1. Lindor hits a shot to deep right center, but Mungaya closes the distance and makes the catch on the track to record the first out of the inning. Lindor drove it into the gap, but Mungaya had a great read on the ball, closed the distance, and made the play easily. And we have former Yankee Juan Soto up to bat. Stroman fires a fastball down low for call, strike one. Soto, in usual fashion, looks back at the umpire. Stroman fires a curveball that catches the corner of the plate. It's called strike two. Soto has challenged it, and Soto is correct. The ABS says that the ball was low. Count evens up at 1-1. Just remember, during this regular season, you're not going to have the ABS. Stroman sets and he fires a fastball inside that Soto swings over the top of to bring the count to 1-2. We're in the bottom of the first, and there's one out. Juan Soto up to bat. Soto gets a curveball that is up and in that is hammered foul. Count still is 1-2. There is no way that pitch, if hit, was going to end up fair. It was too far inside. Stroman sets and he fires a curveball that Soto checks his swing on to even the count up at 2-2. Stroman is 8 pitches into the game. And I see that Andrew Dang has joined the broadcast. Thank you for coming aboard, Andrew. Appreciate your support. Soto takes a ball, chops it to first base, which is flipped lightly to Marcus Stroman to record the second out. Stroman is 9 pitches into the game. The Mets have no runners on and 2 outs. Soto gives a high five to Stroman as he strolls back to the dugout to plant his butt on the bench. And Stroman sets and fires Pete Alonso takes a fastball on the outside corner for call, strike one. This spring, Pete was hitting .241 with a homer and 9 RBIs. Stroman fires another fastball in for ball one to even the count up at 1-1. Stroman fires a cutter off the plate for ball two. Count is now 2-1. We have 2 outs with no runners on, and we are in the bottom of the first in a 0-0 game. Stroman fires another cutter, this time off the plate, but Alonso swings over the top of it to bring the count to 1-2. And Stroman fires what I think is a strike fastball on the low outside corner, but home plate umpire calls it a ball to bring the count full to 3-2. And Stroman fires a curveball low for ball four. Alonso takes his gear off and he heads down to first base. And we have left fielder Brandon Nimmo stepping up to the plate. Nimmo this spring training is hitting .333 with 2 RBIs. Stroman fires. Nimmo hits a ground ball that leaks through the infield. And Alonso goes from first to third. Ball is back in the infield to Jazz. So we have runners at first and third with 2 outs. Nimmo caught a fastball that was over the plate, and the grounder had eyes and navigated its way right past a diving Jazz Chisholm. And Mark Vientos is stepping up to the plate. This spring he's hitting .227 with 2 home runs. Stroman sets, and he fires a curveball that down the heart of the plate that is called strike one. Stroman sets and he fires a cutter on the inside portion, and Viento fouls it off into the stands. Count is now 0-2. Runners at first and third with 2 outs, and a fan has caught the foul ball and is getting high fives from his constituents around him. Stroman sets and he fires a cutter off the plate for ball one. And Stroman sets and he fires a curveball that Viento swings over the top for the strikeout and the end of the inning as we head to the top of the second. Pretty clean game so far. Looks like Stroman is hitting his points. He's doing what he needs to do. So not anticipating that he's going to have any issues starting the season out for us, even after all the media-induced antics and suppositions about there being a controversy in the Bronx. Stroman is an older player, said he's a starting pitcher. He's there to do his job. I see Real Bill has come on board for the broadcast. I want to say welcome and thank you for supporting the stream. Let's see. Big Dog has to get his glasses out because I can't see some of this stuff. And CT, welcome and thanks for supporting the broadcast. Everything is going well. I'm back in Virginia, not in Pennsylvania, looking after my mother. So long trip, and my greeting coming back to Virginia was listening to the 8-run ninth inning that the Phillies put on the Yankees to come back and beat us. All right. We see AJ Minter has taken the mound for uh, the Mets, and he fires a fastball inside for call, strike one on Oswaldo Cabrera. Cabrera's in the box, and he fouls the ball off his shin. He is down on the ground, hopping around. That one's going to hurt, and they're going to give him a little bit of a walking break. They're showing the replay, and he fouled the ball off of his back right knee. Cabrera convinces Boone and the trainer that he's okay. They're heading back to the dugout. And Cabrera is back in the box. Minter is back on the mound. He sets. And he fires a cutter down low that Cabrera swings over the top of to record a strikeout on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I see that Max Coverage TV has joined the broadcast, and thank you for your support. Minter fires a cutter to Pablo Reyes down low for strike one. Minter sets, and he fires a fastball inside to even the count up at 1-1. We are in the top of the second inning. There are no runners on with 1 out. AJ Minter on the mound and Pablo Reyes at the dish. Reyes drives a ball deep to right field. Going, and gone out of the park. Pablo Reyes fighting for a spot on this roster, I think might have put a little bit of icing on that cake and maybe joining us up in the Bronx. Drove it out to right center field convincingly, a line drive home run. And he puts the Yankees on the board. Yankees up 1-0. And let's see, we have Ishmael Mungaya up to bat. He takes a fastball up and in for ball one. Mungaya shows bunt and tries to lay a bunt down, but it is fouled off into the stands. Count evens at 1-1. And Minter fires a cutter that Munguia swings over the top of. Count is now 1-2. Looks like they're shifting where Lindor is sitting at the right near second base. There is a hole on the left-hand side of the infield. Torrance sets. Minter fires a fastball up that is fouled straight back to the backstand. Count is still 1-2. Max, I 100% agree with you, brother. I believe that Pablo has punched his ticket and will make this roster. Minter fires a changeup down low that Munguia fouls off into the stands. Count still remains 1-2. Minter sets and fires, and Munguia fouls the ball down the first base line. Count is still 1-2. Minter sets. Then he steps off the mound. Minter steps back on. And he fires a fastball down low that Munguia drives into the right field foul box. Minter is up to 14 pitches already. 14 pitchers and is on his third batter. Munguia does the Juan Soto shuffle for the next pitch, and it's down low. Count evens up at 2-2. Minter sets and fires a ball down low to bring the count to 3-2. The count is full. And Minter sets and he fires. Munguia fouls another ball off. Count remains 3-2. And Minter fires a fastball down low that Munguia swings over the top of to strike out. It's 2 down and no runners on base. We have 2 outs, and the Yankees have jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Minter is 18 pitches into his outing, and we have Oswald Peraza up to bat. Minter fires a fastball down low that is fouled off. This spring training, Oswald is hitting .200 with 1 home run, 1 RBI. Minter fires a cutter that Peraza fouls off down the first line. It's up, and Alonso is closing on it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. I want to thank everybody that has taken time out of their afternoon to join this live stream for today's Yankees versus the Mets play-by-play. I am going to be calling the play-by-play for tomorrow's game also. Keep looking for at your notifications. I believe that the game start time is the same as today, so I should be on air about 1:05 just before the game. It'll be the last game of spring training for the Yankees. Last look for other teams to look at the players who may become available from us. And I believe by tomorrow we will have figured out who has actually made the major league roster and maybe resting them. However, that's baseball. How have you guys felt about the ABS system? Have you liked it this spring training? Indifferent, or you don't want to see it implemented? And I see that Mario has joined us in the broadcast. Welcome, Mario. Appreciate your support. Stroman is out for his second inning of work, and he fires a fastball up high to Jesse Winker for ball one. Stroman fires another fastball up high. This time, Winker swings through it to bring the count to 1-1. And Stroman fires a sinker that catches the outside corner to bring the count to 1-2. The scar sets up down low and outside. Stroman hits his spot. Winker swings over the top of it for another strikeout. Stroman is 24 pitches into his outing. I think he'll probably end up somewhere around 75 pitches or 5 innings, whichever comes first. You Yankee fans out there, how do you feel about Clay Holmes being the opening day starter for the Mets? Did we miss something with him? Stroman fires a sinker that is fouled off. Former Yankee farmhand Gel Torrens is up to bat, or Luis Torrens, excuse me. This spring, he is hitting .250 with 1 homer and 7 RBIs. Hey, David A. And Stroman fires a cutter that locks up Torrens for call, strike 3. That is 2 strikeouts in the inning. And let's see. Stroman has thrown 27 pitches, and he sets and fires. And 85-mile-an-hour changeup that is swung through by Brett Beatty. Brady is hitting .347 this spring with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. Beatty is the 8-hole hitter. Stroman sets and he fires. Ball is fouled off to bring the count to 0-2. We are in the bottom of the second with no runners on, 2 outs, an 0-2 count, and Marcus Stroman at 29 pitches. Yankees currently have a 1-0 lead over the Metropolitans. Stroman fires a fastball inside that is fouled down the first base line. Count still remains 0-2. It's okay, Bill. I just appreciate you showing up through the stream. Thank you for your support, brother. And Stroman sets, fires, and Beatty tags one. It is gone out of the ballpark in right center field. We got closed on it, but He just had too much pop. Beatty hits a solo home run out on an 0-2 pitch. The Mets have evened it up at 1-1. There are 2 outs, no runners on. And let's see, Jose Siri hits a line drive to center field on the first pitch of the at bat. FJ's comment: Holmes has never pitched more than 70 innings during his career. Don't see how he can transform into a starter in one off season. I don't know either, but I guess we're going to see it. And I see that Joseph's Dream has joined us on the broadcast. I want to welcome you and thank you for supporting our play-by-play for the Ugly Truth. And Stroman attempts to pick off Lindor at first, or not Lindor, pick off the runner at first. Lindor is up to bat. The count is 0-0. There are 2 outs and a runner at first. Stroman fires a fastball in for ball 1. The count now is 1-0. Stroman fires a sinker down low for ball 2. Stroman is at 35 pitches for the inning. All right, Stro, let's get it done. And Stroman fires over to first again. Runner is back safe, so Siri may be off to the races now. Stroman fires a fastball up high and out of the zone. The count is now 3-0. Stroman fires a sinker off the outside corner for call strike 1. The count is now 3-1. Stroman fires a cutter that is popped up to shallow center field, and Mungai closes on the ball and records the 3rd out of the inning. The Yankees have 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. The Mets have 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. As we approach the top of the 3rd, we are in a commercial break. For those of you that are in the broadcast, if you have not hit the like button, do me a favor and hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share this channel out with your friends, family, anyone that you may think may get value out of the content. This is Yankees the Ugly Truth. We run some videos, open panels. Upon occasion, we call some play-by-play games for the fans out there. I also do some play-by-play calling with NFE from the strike zone, and please support that channel too. At this time, we are at a commercial break. In my area, they're talking about Ace Hardware and ants. I guess it's green grass and spring is coming, and we have baseball in the air. So, what more can you say? When we return, Juan Soto will be the leadoff hitter for the Mets in the bottom half of the third. Looks like Danny Young is coming out to take the mound for the Mets. Young is a left handed pitcher. He pitched 37 innings last year and had 48 strikeouts. Ben Rice is leading off the inning for us. He is 0 for 1 today. He flied out to right. Young fires a cutter on the outside corner of the plate for call, strike one. Young fires a slider down low to even the count at 1-1. Interesting stat for you. This year, the hard hit rate for players during spring training was led by Ben Rice, who hit the ball an average of 97.3 miles an hour, leaving his bat, which was the highest exit velo for a hitter. And Young fires a cutter that catches the outside corner and call for strike two. Count is now evened at 2-2. Young sets and Rice fouls it down the first base line. But of the top 10 hardest hit rate balls averaging coming out of spring training, Yankees had three of them, three players. Rice takes a curveball down low and fouls it off into the right or left field stands. Count is still 2-2. And Rice throws a slider that, or Young throws a slider that Rice swings over the top of for strike three. Record the first out of the inning. Definitely low, and the slider walked off the plate. And Jason Dominguez is up to bat and fouls the first pitch off down the right field line into the stands. Count is now 0-1. Young sets and fires a fastball off the plate to even the count at 1-1. Young fires a cutter that Dominguez swings over the top of. Count is now 1-2. Young fires a fastball in that Dominguez swings over the top of, but Torrance cannot handle it. Ball rolls all the way to the backstop. Dominguez heads to first and makes it to first base. I think it's going to be a pass ball / strikeout. So Jazz Chisholm steps into the box. Young sets and fires, and Dominguez takes off and steals second base without a throw. Count is now 1-0. Looks like Torrens lost the handle as he was getting up, and Young fires a fastball up and into Jazz to bring the count to 2-0. And Young fires a fastball that catches the outside corner to bring the count to 2-1. And let's see. Young sets and he fires another fastball that catches the outside corner to bring the count even to 2-2. Lindor is holding Dominguez close to second base. Young fires a cutter that is off the plate, bring the count to 3-2. Young fires, Jazz hits it through the left field, and Dominguez rounds third and is going to score to bring the Yankees up to a 2-1 lead on a opposite field single through the infield from Jazz Chisholm. Dev, how you doing? Day is going well. We're watching baseball, and the Yankees are up. J.C. Scarra steps up to the plate. Young fires a ball that goes all the way to the backstop, and Jazz Chisholm walks to second base. We have one run in already. We have a runner at second with one out. And the count is 1-0 on the newest backup catcher for the Yankees, J.C. Escarra. Young fires a fastball that catches the outside corner to bring the count to 1-1. This time Young fires a cutter that is way off the plate to bring the count to 2-1. Escarra sets. Young fires a cutter that Escarra swings over the top of to bring the count to 2-2. Young is 21 pitches into the inning. The Yankees are leading 2-1 with a runner at second and one out. Count is 2-2. Escarra is in the box. Young fires, and Escarra swings over the top of the cutter to end up with a strikeout as the Mets record their second out of the inning. JC did not look very effective with that swing. And we have Everson Pereira coming up to bat. Young fires a fastball down low for ball one. Yes, Mario, the Yankees are up 2-1. And Young fires a changeup down low to bring the count to 2-0. Purr takes a fastball inside to bring the count to 3-0. We have two outs with a runner at second base. The Yankees are up 2-1 on the Mets. Young fires a fastball off the plate for ball four. And the pitching coach for the Mets is going to do a substitution. Young has thrown 26 pitches in this inning and has only worked 2/3 of an inning. So the Mets are calling in a new pitcher. So how are we feeling about the team? Early in the season, after the few injuries that were reported, a lot of people were wanting to cash our season in, bring the surrender flag up, and call it good. Never shared that sentiment. I think that we have a pretty good squad. I like what they're capable of doing. I'd like the rotation better if we had more depth, but I can live with it as is, especially knowing that we're having reinforcements show up like Luis Hill in about 3 months or so. So I'm okay. Definitely encouraged by the improvement in situational hitting, and this spring training, we've been scoring an average of 5.5 runs a game, which is a half run more than we were when we had Juan Soto last year. You guys want to know how to stir up a hornet's nest? Last night on Twitter, one of the random sports sites was asking for predictions in each division in baseball, and the first one that I saw was, who do I think is going to take the NL West? Well, my statement was that the Diamondbacks were going to surprise the world and win the AL West. You want to see how many trolls and people who love the Dodgers came out of the woodworks? Let's see. We have Cornely in. Cabrera bounces the ball to Beatty, who shoots it to first to end the inning on one pitch. But the Dodger fans were non appreciative of my stance on the Dodgers not winning the World Series, nor the division, and even being eliminated in the playoffs in the first round via a sweep. And Mario, I cannot stand the Dodgers. Yankees all the way, and that's that. Yeah, some of my smart aleck comments involved, well, you guys are a great team on paper, but you have to play the game on the field. If we subscribe to your opinion, Dodgers have already won the 2025 World Series. They won 162-0 and are the champions of the sport. Sorry, not buying it. And let's see, Juan Soto is stepping up to the plate. Okay, now these guys are having fun with Soto's swing. Congratulations, he took a swing and hit a ball. Stroman fires a changeup that Soto fouls off. Juan Soto is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to the first baseman. Actually, grounded out, and the first baseman flipped it to Stroh as he was covering first base. Stroman fires a cutter that Soto pops up to shallow left field. Dominguez closes on the ball and records the first out of the inning. Bye-bye, Juan. Back to the bench. We're in the bottom of the third. Stroman is 40 pitches into the game. My pregame prediction on the strike zone is that Stroman would pitch 75 pitches roughly. Let's see. Stroman. Jesus. Stroman throws a lollipop curveball that Alonso blasts into the right field stands for another home run to bring the score to 2-2. The game is now tied at 2 apiece. Mets have 1 out, and we have I don't know. He hit the ball out of the park. I don't know how many times you can do a replay of the exact same ball being hit out of the park, but they seem to be doing it. Brandon Nimmo, they finally panned back, and Brandon Nimmo is up to bat, and the count is 0-2. And they're still following Alonso in the dugout. Let's see. Stroman fires a sinker down low to bring the count to 1-2. Stroman sets and he fires a cutter over the middle. Mungaya closes on the ball. It's hit to right or left center field. He is easily there waiting for it to record the second out of the inning. And let's see. Stroman sets and he fires a sinker for call. Strike 1 to. My goodness, they're back on the Alonso home run. We're 2 players past that. Vientos takes a pitch. Excuse me for a sec. Okay, the challenge was successful. The count is now 0-2. Vientos is in the box. Stroman fires a curveball for ball 1. Stroman fires a sinker down low to bring the count to 2-2. There are 2 outs with no runners on, and the score is locked up 2-2. And Stroman just threw a ridiculous slider that was never in the strike zone and bounced in the opposite batter's box to bring the count to 3-2. Full count. Stroman's at 50 pitches. And let's see. Vientos takes the pitch and hits it to right center. Gaia fires it into second base to hold Vientos at first. And let's see. Jesse Winker steps up to the plate and takes ball one. Winker takes a second pitch, sinker down low for ball two. Count is now 2-0. Let's see. The count is now 3-1. And Stroman fires a sinker down low for ball four. The Mets now have runners at first and second with 2 outs. So this is the second walk given up by Stroman. So Marcus, it's time to get nasty. Stroman has thrown 56 pitches in the game thus far. 2 outs, runners at first and second. And we have Luis Torrens coming up to bat, former Yankee farmhand catcher. Stroman fires another sinker down low for ball one. Stroman fires another sinker that is bounced to the shortstop Peraza, who steps on second to record the third out. As we move to the bottom of the top of the fourth. Give me a second. I will be right back. All right, I have returned. We are back to the broadcast. And Cornley is back. Throws an 86-mile-an-hour freaking sinker that is called strike one. Pablo Reyes is up to bat. He has hit a dinger today. And he takes a sinker down low to even the count up at 1-1. Cornley fires a fastball up high and out of the strike zone to bring the count to 2-1. And Reyes bounces the ball to third. Vientos is diving. It goes off his glove and trickles into left field. So that is Reyes' second hit of the game. And Pablo Reyes takes his lead off. Cornley sits on the mound. And Munguia takes the first pitch and fouls it down the third base line. Conley fires across the diamond at first base. Runner is back safely. McGee is back in the box and takes a sinker down low for ball one. Count is now 1-1. We are in the top of the fourth inning. We have a score of 2-2. Cornley fires a ball down low. Reyes makes a attempt to steal second, but he is gunned down. Singer fires a ball perfectly to catch Reyes right in the chest. So now we have one out. Count is 2-1. Mugaya is still up. He takes another pitch inside for ball three. Count is now 3-1. We have one out. No runners on, and the score locked up at 2-2. And Munguia lines a ball to center field. Munguia struck out in his first at bat, but it was a 12-pitch at bat, and he took this one right up the middle for his first hit of the day. And we have Oswaldo Peraza stepping up to the plate. Peraza's in the box. Cornley sets and he fires. Peraza fouls it straight back into the stands. And Peraza fouls the second ball off down the first base line into the stands. Brings the count to 0-2. We have one out, with a runner at first, and the score is deadlocked 2-2. We're in the top of the fourth. Cornley attempts to pick off one guy at first, but the runner is back safely. Cornley sets and he fires. Peraza fouls the ball down the third base line. Count is still 0-2. Cornley fires a changeup inside that Peraza fouls off. This count is still 2-2. Cornley fires. Runner goes, and the second Yankee runner is thrown out at second base. We are 0 for 2 on stolen bases this inning. Singer has thrown out 2 Yankee runners this inning. Peraza is up again. Takes a changeup up high and inside to even the count at 2-2. Let's see. Peraza fouls the ball off down the right field line into the bleachers. Cornley sets. Fires, and Peraza fouls the ball off again. And Peraza swings over a sinker in the dirt for strike 3. As we head to the bottom of the fourth. The score is 2-2. Not a very impressive inning for the Yankees. 2 runners thrown out at second base by the Mets catcher Singer. Ball's right on target, right on time, and was not a doubt that either runner was out. I think that we may be looking at the last game of Oswald Peraza, once touted top 10 prospect for the Yankees. Last game in pinstripes. I just cannot see with his very slow performance at the plate. He is the best glove that we have in the organization with regard to infield defense, but his productivity behind the plate just has not been there. He's been given every opportunity to make this roster, and I would not be surprised if he does not. If I miss someone, joining the broadcast. I want to thank you for supporting our play-by-play today. We will be doing the play-by-play for the last game of the spring training for the New York Yankees, which is tomorrow. And let's see. Beatty, who homered his first time, is up to bat. Stroman fires a pitch that is off the plate for ball one. Apparently, we missed the first pitch. The count is now 1-1. Stroman 60 pitches into the game, and Beatty fouls the ball down the first base line for a count of 1-2. Marcus Stroman has thrown 61 pitches on his outing today. My pregame estimate was 75, so he might be able to make it through this inning. Stroman fires a slider down low for ball two. The count is even at 2-2. We're down in the bottom of the fourth. The Yankees and Mets are locked up 2-2. Marcus Stroman is pitching to Brett Beatty, and he takes another pitch down low, curveball, to bring the count to full 3-2. And this is where Marcus kills himself, is the nibbling. He fires a fastball up high that Beatty swings through to record a strikeout. And the first out of the inning. Let's say Jose Siri is up to bat. Stroman fires a changeup that Siri swings through. Stroman fires. Siri drops a bunt down to Stroman. Stroman fields it cleanly and fires to first to record the second out of the inning. Great fielding play. No hesitation, no doubt. No doubt. He came off the mound quickly, fielded the ball barehanded, and then fired it to the first baseman to record the out. Stroman was the 2017 Gold Glove winner with the Toronto Blue Jays. Hold on a sec. And Francisco Lindor steps up to the plate. He takes the first pitch, which he spots is off the plate. Count is 1-0. Stroman fires a second pitch that Lindor fouls off. The count is evened up at 1-1. Stroman fires a curveball that is fouled off to bring the count to 1-2. Lindor is taking time. Hasn't left the box. He's just readjusting his gloves and his equipment. He's back in. Stroman fires, and Lindor chops a ball down the third base line where the team had shifted for a single. So Lindor comes through with a 2-out hit. Looks like they're pulling him out of the game for a pinch runner. And it looks like the Yankees are making a pitching change. So I will be back in a And I am back. Apparently, the reliever came in, threw 3 pitches, and struck the batter out. So now we are going to the top of the 5th. Hey, Sean, how are you doing? We are in a commercial break once again. It was quick, Sean. They pulled Stroman at 70 pitches, and I stepped out to go grab a drink, came back, and it was over with. And the Mets are bringing Max Kranick in, who is competing for the final bullpen spot in the uh, Mets roster. And the first pitch is hit deep to right field. Taylor, who replaced Soto, catches the ball on the warning track to record the first out for the inning. Jason Dominguez steps up to the plate and takes a fastball down the gut for call, strike 1. Dominguez is turned around to hit left-handed. He takes a 96-mile-an-hour fastball high and out of the strike zone for ball 1. Count is evened at 1-1. Kranick sets and he fires. Dominguez taps the ball to the first baseman. He fires to the pitcher just in time to record the second out of the inning. There are 2 away. Kranick has thrown 4 pitches. And on the replay, if we had challenges available, Dominguez would be safe at first because the first baseman was off the bag. And we have 2 outs with nobody on, and Jazz Chisholm takes a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, swings through it for strike 1. Kranick fires another fastball up and out of the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. Kranick throws a curveball that Jazz swings over the top of to bring the count to 1-2. Chisholm is back in the box. He's ready. Kranick sets and fires a fastball inside to even the count at 2-2. We are in the top of the fifth inning. Kranick fires a curveball that Jazz fouls off this time. The count is still 2-2. Kranick fires a fastball that paints the outside corner for call, strike three. Jazz is at the plate arguing with the umpire, but once the umpire has made the call, there is no ABS because the system is apparently broken. The umpire's decision is what goes. So Jazz gets rung up. We are going to the bottom of the fifth, and we are an hour and 38 minutes into this broadcast. Looks like we have 7 people still watching, at least live. And we have 17 likes. So I want to appreciate everybody that has taken time out of their Monday afternoon to catch the game with me. I've enjoyed calling the play-by-play. And we will do a repeat of this tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the open panel starting at 10 o'clock. It'll last about an hour or so. So 10 to 11, it'll be the fans' opportunity to come up and say their piece about the topics that we're going to have at hand. And then we'll have a break for about 2 hours, roughly, time enough for anyone who wants to attend the stream to get lunch. It'll be the last game of spring training for the Yankees, and opening season begins on Thursday. Broadcast will be on ESPN. The Yankees will be at home facing the Brewers. Looks like Freddie Peralta is taking the bump for the Brewers, and we're going to have the Yankees' own Carlos Rodon taking the opening day / home debut in the Bronx. Fernando Cruz was the reliever that relieved Marcus Stroman. He is still on the bump, and we have a new hitter, Acuna, and he takes the first pitch and drives a single to Dominguez in left field. Brandon Nimmo comes up to the plate. Cruz fires a fastball down low for ball one. Hey, cold Italian pizza. Chilly day in the Bronx on Thursday, but no rain. So that is a plus. I'm not anticipating seeing the ball fly out of the stadium in those cold conditions. So hopefully the Yankees' new speed, situational hitting will bring us bonuses. And Cruz fires a cutter in for a strike. The count is now 2-1. Cruz fires a sinker that is swung over the top up to bring the count to 1-2. Today's score is 2-2, tied up. We're in the bottom of the fifth. There is a runner at first. Ball is grounded to Chisholm. Chisholm boots it. And Acuna makes it safely to second. Nimmo makes it to first. So that's the first error of the game for the Yankees. Looked like Jazz was eyeballing going to second for the double play attempt, but he let the ball get into his glove, didn't get the handle, and it kicked away from him. So the Mets have runners at first and second with no outs, and we have Trace Wilhoit coming up to bat. He is replacing Pete Alonso at first base. Cruz fires a fastball down low for called strike one. Looks like Sterling Marte is going to come into the game. He's got a bat and is sitting in the on-deck circle. Cruz throws a curveball inside to even the count at 1-1. There are runners at first and second with no outs. In the bottom of the fifth, the count is 1-1. And Cruz fires a splitter in the dirt, but Wilhoit waves at it and brings the count to 1-2. Great job of blocking by Escara. Keeps the ball in front of him so the runners cannot advance. Cruz sets and fires a curveball that Wilhoit swings over the top of to record his first strikeout of the game. Cruz is averaging 14.7 strikeouts per nine. And let's see, the Yankees are pulling Cruz after 13 pitches and bringing in another reliever. So we are at a commercial break. Hey, Marshall, how's it going? Thanks for supporting our play-by-play broadcast today here on The Ugly Truth. Appreciate you taking time out of your day. If you haven't, for those that are in the broadcast that haven't, please hit like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Share the channel out with your friends, family, and anyone that you may think will get value out of the content of Yankees The Ugly Truth. We run open forums on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I drop periodic videos, averaging 2 a week, I suppose. Activity on the channel for you, and I will jump in and do the occasional play-by-play here on my own stream, or I've partnered up with NFE from the Strike Zone on his channel last season. We've done a couple of spring training play-by-plays, but I'm riding solo today. Well, let's see. Aaron Judge is on the screen. They ask him what he likes to eat before a game, and his food is chopped cheese. Let's see. Sterling Marte is in to pinch hit for Jesse Winker, and the Yankees have brought Mark Leiter Jr. in to replace Fernando Cruz. Jeez Louise. He chops the ball to short, and the ball is thrown off mark. Chisholm holds the bag to record the out, the second out at second base, but no more. There are now runners at first and third with 2 outs. Leiter threw a beautiful splitter that Marte beat into the ground. And we have the new catcher, Singer, coming up to bat. Leiter fires a sinker in the dirt for ball 1. Count is now 1-0. Hey, D-Rod, thanks for joining the play-by-play for today. Appreciate your supporting the channel. Singer fires a shot to third baseman Cabrera. He's not able to bring the ball in. He knocks it down. Singer ends up with a run-scoring single, and the Mets take a 3-2 lead. Singer hit a bullet. Cabrera dove for the ball, knocked it down, but could not record the out. Oh, so let's see. D-Rod's got jokes. What's up, buddy? You're not able to make it up to sit in the chair? Yeah, I could sit in the chair, but I'm one of those guys that it's a recliner rocker, so I like to rock, and I'm using my tablet for today's play-by-play, so I'd end up knocking it over more than I would not. It's sort of one of those old guy things. Appreciate your comments, D-Rod. Let's see. Barrow is up to bat. Leiter 7 pitches deep. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Count is 2-1, and he drops a sinker in for call. Strike 2. Count evens up at 2-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th, and the bad guys, New York Mets, are up 3-2. Yes, D-Rod, you are absolutely right. I have dozed off rocking my chair. That wouldn't be so great for a play-by-play broadcast now, would it? Let's see. Leiter sets, and he fires a sinker that Barrow swings over the top of for strike 3. And that is the end of the inning. We are heading to the top of 6. So is everyone looking forward to the start of the 2025 season for the rest of baseball on Thursday? I did the play-by-play call for opening day with the Dodgers versus the Cubs in Tokyo. I had quite a few people that bounced in and out, many more than I suspected, since it was a 6:15 a.m. game on the East Coast. But I had fun, enjoyed calling it, and it's a good time. I think everyone enjoyed it. I will end up calling the first or the last game of the spring training tomorrow at 1:05. So anybody who can, please feel free to hop on and listen to the play-by-play. I also have my open panel uh, starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It'll last about an hour. So anyone who wants to hop on, feel free. Uh, as far as I know, uh, well, to answer to D Rod's question, yes, I knew that Jose Trevino signed a 5-year extension with the Reds. Uh, I mean, it's a 5-year extension for a backup catcher. It's low cost. He is a great pitch framer, great defensive catcher. Slow pop time, not a strong arm, but you're talking a backup catcher, and obviously Tito likes what he brings to the plate and endorsed bringing him back for a few more seasons. So good for the Reds. But Rosen is the new Mets pitcher, and he is facing J.C. Ascari. He fires a fastball inside for strike one. The second pitch is lined to the right fielder, Taylor, and he fields it cleanly to record the first out of the inning. Huskar Barosian, or Brosban, is one of two pitchers fighting for the last bullpen spot in the Mets bullpen. Pereira is up to bat, and he lines the first pitch down the third base line, foul. Today, the Yankees have 2 runs on 4 hits and an error. The Mets have 2 runs on 8 hits and no errors. And Peraza fouls another ball down the third baseline to bring the count to 0-2. Brazone Band fires a sinker down low to be the first ball, and the count is at 1-2. He fires a cutter off the plate to even the count up at 2-2. Rosen fires a ball that Pereira drills to center field, but the center fielder fields it on the warning track to record the second out of the inning. Pereira hit that one on the button, just no loft. And Acuna floats, took a good route, and secured the ball easily. Dev, if you want to come on the open panel, no problem. And D-Rod, what do I think about the Yarborough signing? I'm actually surprised that the Jays let him walk. Bedrosian fires a fastball past Cabrera for strike 2. Uh, I was surprised that the Jays let him walk. He had a solid performance during spring training. Decent left-hander, so decent acquisition uh, to the Yankees bullpen. We were only running with Tim Hill as the sole left-hander. And Cabrera swings on and is struck out for the third out of the inning. I think that we've got probably one more move left in us. They've talked about a bat that is capable, right-handed bat who is capable of playing third base or any of the corner outfield spots. Uh, I'm thinking that Garrett Hampstead, who was with the Diamondbacks during spring training, he opted out of his contract. He plays both infield and outfield, multiple positions in both quadrants. Uh, he is very fast and is a right-handed bat and could definitely benefit the Yankees to bring him on board. Got to say, those Mets ST caps are pretty nice. I'm deleting these. So we got jokes. Hey, NFE, how's it going? Thanks for coming on board, supporting the broadcast. And we are going into the bottom of the sixth inning. Bad guys are leading 3-2. They have 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The Yankees have 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. A little bit of a commercial break. And we have lefty Tim Hill throwing from the mound. He fires his first ball down low for called ball 1. Now we're on a pause because we have the manager doing an interview, and it looks like Escobar is the batter. And he fouls the second pitch off to bring the count to 1-1. Ascar. And he fouls the second pitch into the ground. Apparently, I've missed a couple of pitches because the count is now listed as full, 3-2. Ascar bounces the ball to Jazz Chisholm and fires to first base to record the first out of the inning. Hey, Ruben. Thanks for joining the play-by-play stream. I appreciate your support. For those that are here who have not, hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. Subscribe if you're not a subscribed member of Yankees The Ugly Truth. And feel free to leave comments. I'll try to answer them the best that I can. Share this channel out with anyone that you may feel that gets value from the content. I drop videos looking for opinions about various subjects, baseball and Yankees. I do open panels on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Upon occasion, I do play-by-plays. I've done them with NFE on the strike zone a lot last year. Done a couple of spring training games with him this year, and if he likes, we may collab together and do more this season. If you are not, I recommend subscribing to the Strike Zone. NFE, if you are still here, feel free to drop your link. Let's see. Hill fires a strike into Taylor for strike one. We are in the bottom of the sixth. There are 2 outs, no runners on. Hill fires a ball to Taylor down low to even the count up at 1-1. Hill fires a cutter that is fouled off down the third base line. Tyrone Taylor replaced Juan Soto in right field. Soto went 0 for 2 today. Hey, Jiggle, appreciate you jumping in on our live play-by-play for today's game. Thank you for taking time out of your day to hop on. Appreciate the support. I will be calling tomorrow's play-by-play for the last game of spring training for the Yankees. And Hill fires a fastball up and in to Taylor to even the count up at 2-2. No, D-Rod, I noticed that he isn't doing the bunny hop that he was doing last year. Taylor chops the ball to shortstop. He fires across the infield to record the third out at first base. So now we have more of the Mets manager interview, which occupied most of this half of the inning. As I said before, the bad guy Mets are leading our Yankees 3-2. Excuse me for a sec. And we are back. Sorry, my sister was calling about some of the stuff going on during my trip to Pennsylvania. Orellana is the pitcher coming in for the Mets. And we have Pablo Reyes stepping up to the bat, and Orellana throws the first pitch to the backstop. And Reyes fouls the next pitch off. to even the count at 1-1. Oriano sets and he fires. Reyes fouls the ball off again to bring the count to 1-2. We are in the top of the seventh inning. The Mets lead the Yankees 3-2. Reyes takes another pitch and he fouls it off. Count still remains 1-2. Oriano fires a 96-mile-an-hour fastball off the plate to bring the count to 2-2. Oriano fires a sinker that Reyes drills through the infield to the left fielder to record another hit. And Munguia steps up to the plate. Okay, Munguia is not up to the bat. Appears that Spencer Jones is taking his at bat. The first pitch is inside for ball one. Orlia throws a pitch inside. That is Munguia. That is not Spencer Jones. And he checks his swing. Munguia takes a pitch and shoots a line drive into shallow right field for the second single of the inning. We have runners now at first and second with no outs. Oswald Peraza steps up to the plate and shows bunt, but the ball is down low for ball one. Looks like the infield is playing ready to crash down on the corners. Middle infielders are playing back. And Aurelia throws another fastball down low, so the count is now 2-0. Pitcher fires, and Peraza fouls it back to bring the count to 2-1. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Peraza is in the box, and he takes a fastball inside to bring the count to 3-1. Orlana throws a curveball up high for ball four to load the bases. The bases are juiced with runners. Nobody out. D-Rod, my drive to PA was right at about 5.5 hours or so. It's funny, everything is fast all the way until you get into Pennsylvania. Then the village idiot drivers are passing you on the shoulders, locking their brakes up, and everything goes from 65, 70 down to 25, 30. Ben Rice is stepping up to the plate. He takes a pitch inside. And Rice fouls the ball down the first base line to bring the count to 1-1. Orlina fires a splitter that Rice swings over the top of to bring the count to 1-2. Pitcher sets, fires another ball down low to even the count up at 2-2. Yankees have the bases juiced with nobody out. If you get out, Ben, let's have a productive out and score somebody. And the ball is pitched up high to bring the count to 3-2. And the pitch is up high to walk in the tying run as Rice heads to first base. And the Mets pitching coach is coming out of the dugout. Oriella has thrown 20 pitches in this inning thus far. Not sure that they're going to keep him on the bump. And the Mets pitching coach is leaving him in the game. The Yankees have the bases loaded with nobody out and have scored one run to tie it up. Dominguez takes a shot that is grounded to the first or the second baseman. Flipped to second to record an out, but Dominguez beats the throw out at first, and another run scores. Runners are at first and third with one out, and the Yankees have taken the lead 4-3. And Shoemake comes up to bat. He takes the first pitch and hits it deep to right center field. Peraza is tagging and will score another run. The Yankees take a 5-3 lead. We're in the top of the seventh with two outs and a runner at first. Yankees have scored three innings or 3 runs in this inning. Blah blah blah. Oriana fires a changeup for calls, strike one. And the hitter is Alex Jackson. And let's see. The runner goes and steals second base. So this is Dominguez's second stolen base of the game. Oriana fires the ball and Jackson fires it up, or fouls it off. Count is now 1-2. We have a runner at second in scoring position with two outs. Can the Yankee situational hitting bring him around to score the 6th run of the game for the Yankees? And Jackson looks at one right down the pipe For call, strike 3. Yankees have 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. The Mets have 3 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Yankees retake the lead as we're heading into the bottom of the 7th. You got to sing, Ken? What's that mean? We are in a commercial break right now. A little bit of Dairy Queen blizzard action going on the TV. It's actually quite warm here in Virginia Beach today, so yeah, I could probably see people wanting to get some ice cream. I wonder why it is every Yankee broadcast that I see, and it's MLB Network, they keep panning on Nolan Arenado. Is that subliminal messaging from MLB that we should go out and get him? You worked 22 hours, Sean, last night? Yeah, that's a little bit much, brother. You should be tired. Let's see. The Mets are going to be in Houston against the Astros to open the season on Thursday. And let's see. Luke Weaver takes the bump for the Yankees in the bottom of the 7th. He opens up firing a fastball high and out of the strike zone. He fires a second pitch to Acuna, which looks like a strike to me, but since the ABS is broken, he cannot challenge it. And he fires another pitch, which looks like a strike. Let's call ball 4. 4 straight pitches and a walk to Luis Angel Acuna. Jiggle? I'm not sure. That's Luke Weaver's number now. And Brandon Nimmo takes a strike through the heart of the plate. He throws a splitter that Nimmo swings over the top of. The count is 0-2. Weaver fires a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that is fouled off. Count still remains 0-2. Acuna takes his lead. Weaver fires over to first. Acuna is back safely. Acuna had 40 stolen bases at AAA Syracuse last year. Weaver sets, checks on the runner, fires a fastball that is drilled to left field. That is not Dominguez. I don't know what player came in for him, but he fields it cleanly and fires into second. That is Spencer Jones playing center field. The Yankees have done a wholesale swap out of their entire lineup. And another pitch from Will Hoyt is hit off the end of the bat and sent to the right fielder, who catches it very easily to record the second out of the inning. Mets have a runner at first with 2 outs, and Sterling Marte is coming up to the plate. Weaver sets, and he fires a curveball down low. Weaver sets, and he fires a fastball down low to bring the count to 2-0. We're on the bottom of the 7th. There's a runner at first with 2 outs, and the count is 2-0. Yankees lead 5-3. Luke Weaver is on the bump. Marte sets in the box, takes a big chop, but fouls it off to bring the count to 2-1. Weaver sets, and he fires a cutter off the plate to bring the count to 3-1. Weaver has thrown 14 pitches in this inning and has just been missing off the plate. Weaver fires, catches the corner with a fastball to bring the count to 3-2. Full. You're chatting with yourself? I'm trying to keep you informed, brother. And Weaver sets. And he fires a cutter that catches the outside corner for strike 3 as Marte walks back to the bench. D-Rod, how do I think the bullpen is going to be set up? Well, the signing of the left-hander from Jay's camp is where I have a little bit of confusion on what his actual role is, because I hadn't seen him throw. I think that Hill is going to be a 6-7 situational. I think your back end of your uh, bullpen is definitely going to be Weaver and Williams. I believe that initially I thought that Carrasco was going to be out of the bullpen as a long guy, and then I thought, okay, possibly Warren is the long guy. So I don't know who the hell the long guy is going to be coming out of the pen. Uh, in my personal opinion, Yoendis Gomez has looked fantastic in this spring training. Yeah, D Rod, that's what I'm thinking is Yarborough is a 1 inning 2 to 3 batter uh, pitcher. Possibly in the old days he might have been considered a lefty specialist. I don't know. Like I said, I remember him facing us when he was a Ray, and he was a pain in the ass. He usually handled our lineup fairly easily. Hey, Stephen B, how's it going? And Oriella fires a pitch that Pereira fouls off. All in all, I think that the Yankee bullpen is okay. We have a lot of people that are listed as injured that will be coming back. So I think that it'll just be a question of where the hell we're going to put them, because we've got uh, Jake Cousins, who did a great job last year. We have Lasagna coming back uh, in the April time frame. We have Beater, who was shifted to the bullpen, who is supposed to be coming back. We have JT Brubaker, who will recover from his broken ribs and will be back. Don't know whether he'll be a spot starter or a relief guy, but he may be the long man solution out of the bullpen. Well, the thing that's funny, I'll tend to agree with you that the long man role is sort of dead, but I've seen, even just looking at the Dodgers series early this season, Oriana has a 1-2 count on Peraza, and he throws a changeup up high to bring the count to 2-2. Uh, in the Dodgers series, I did notice that the Dodgers relied on multiple inning. Let's see. Pereira strikes out looking, but the ball bounces away from the catcher. Pereira's got his thumb in his butt and does not run to first base and gets thrown out at first. Uh, but I did notice the Dodgers were using bullpen arms that carried at least 2 innings and some into a third inning. And I think the way our rotation is constructed, that we may be using a similar formula for the first 20 or so games until guys actually get stretched out. And cold Italian pizza, I absolutely believe that Reyes punched his ticket today in the when he hit his dinger. And let's see. Spencer Jones hits an opposite field just over the wall home run to bring the Yankees up to 6-2-3. Let's go, Yankees. And let's see, the batter didn't even get his name, bounced the ball to the shortstop and records the second out of the inning. Like I said, the Yankees wholesale substituted their entire lineup last inning. And the batter is up to the plate. Oriella sets and he fires a changeup for call. Strike one to, come on, guys. Who the hell is this person? Oriella fires a fastball up high for ball one. Count is now 1-1. Yes, that was the real Spencer Jones who hit the home run. Oriella fires, this is the other Jones, fires a fastball that is called strike two on the outside corner. The count is now 1-2. We have two outs, and the Yankees are up 6-3. Top of the eighth. Jones fouls another ball off. Count still remains 1-2. Oriella fires, and Jones pops the ball up. It's foul. Catcher and the third baseman are closing. They almost collide, but the catcher hauls the ball in to secure the third out of the inning. And we are heading to the bottom of the eighth. Yeah, the Mets broadcast sucks. They're yakking. They're not identifying players and whatnot. Well, D-Rod Jones, he's one of the golden children of the organization. Don't believe that he will be traded for anyone that's actually available now. Think they're. Give me a sec. And Yankee fans, I am back, and the wife is on her way home from work. As we come back, Devin Williams is going to take the mound in the bottom of the eighth. Williams sets and he fires a bender for ball one. Ronald Hernandez is up to bat. He played A ball last season. Devin Williams fires a fastball that is swung on and missed to even the count up at 1-1. For Yankee fans who didn't hear, Caleb Durbin, the player that we traded as part of the Devin Williams package, was sent down to the minor leagues. Yeah, you have to. Wife's calls, when you see the name come up, you don't answer, they'll be hell to pay. And Williams fires another fastball that's swung upon. Now the count is 1-2. We're in the bottom of the eighth with no runners on and nobody out. And another ball is fouled off. Personally, D-Rod, I would have moved Spencer Jones last season. And Hernandez hits a single to center field up the center. Prior to Corbin Burns being moved, I would have seriously considered moving Spencer Jones in that deal. I will tell you though that if they think that Spencer Jones is going to make the big league roster next year, that we won't be in on Kyle Tucker in the free agency. And Williams fires a slider that is beat into the ground and foul. Count is now 0-2. And the ball is pulled to first. First baseman steps on the bag to record the first out. The throw to second is not in time. So the runner advances to second. One out. And they're showing the replay. And let's see, if we actually had replay, the runner would be out at second because our shortstop tagged out the runner. However, this is spring training and we don't have replay. Ascar steps up to the plate and he takes the first pitch outside for ball one. Williams sets and he fires another pitch off the plate, fastball, for ball two. The count is now 2-0. And a slider is swung over the top by Ascar to bring the count to 2-1. Well, D-Rod, Tucker is going to cause a Ascar hits a fly ball to left field, and the ball is caught for the second out. Ball in, the runner remains at second. And the Vlad component, I think he is expecting a $600 million contract, and there is no way in hell the Yankees are going to pay him that one. Murakami, I mean, there's hype about him. he could very well end up on the West Coast. He does play third base, and the Dodgers will be separating from their third baseman this coming year. He's going to be a free agent. They won't re-sign him. Jiggle, we had ABS until it broke. So now we don't have either of them. It's sort of like playing baseball the old days, with the exception we still have a damn pitch clock. Well, Ken, who do you think will outfield need? Huh. Tucker. The Dodgers could pony up money for Tucker. That's the Dodgers' one field of weaknesses in their outfield. So Tucker could go to them. The Padres need outfield help too, and with their cash crunch, and Williams strikes out the batter to close out the side. We are heading to the top of the ninth inning. Diamondbacks are solid in the outfield. The Giants might pay for his services, but their park is quite big, and I don't see Tucker really wanting to go there. The Mariners, if they can free up cash, may be in and bidding on him because they need outfield help. Who will play Sean? Who will pay Vladdy his cash? His bag is going to come from the Mets, almost no doubt. Yeah, Andrew, the Diamondbacks have outfielders for days. Personally, I don't understand exactly why they hung on to Jake McCarthy. He is a fantastic outfielder, good, solid left-handed bat, great speed. But you've got like Barossa, you've got Lourdes Gurriel out there. When you've got Alec Thomas and Corbin Carroll, you just can't beat the speed component. They don't have to have strong arms because they can run any damn ball down in the outfield. Andrew, my youngest middle son, is a huge Arizona Diamondbacks fan. He has flown from here to Chase Field to catch, I don't know how many games. It's been a bunch of them. And when the Diamondbacks show up on the East Coast, we always seem to catch games up in D.C. If they're in Baltimore, we've caught them there. And he comes over and we watch a lot of late night Diamondback games. So Brenly and Burhume, used to hearing them call the ball. And Gabrielson is up to bat. Juarez is the new Met pitcher. He comes in, he fires a fastball up high and out of the strike zone for ball one. Juarez fires a fastball that catches the inside corner of the plate, and Gabrielson looks back at the umpire, but it's called strike one. even the count up at 1-1. Gabrielson fouls the pitch off to bring the count to 1-2. Yeah, my youngest middle son and I, my football team is the Chiefs. His team is the Packers. My basketball team, when I followed basketball, was the Pistons. All teams from where I've lived at. He picked the Bulls. I picked my team has always been the Yankees. He started out as a Yankees fan, but now he's a diehard Diamondbacks fan. The count is now 1-2 on Gabrielson, and Juarez fires. Gabrielson hits the ball off the end of the bat. Pop fly to the right fielder Taylor, who fields it cleanly to record the out. I live in Virginia Beach, and if Virginia Beach was to get a professional baseball team, I would support them, but I'd still be a Yankees fan regardless. And Juarez fires a cutter on the inside corner to Morales for strike one.
We have a professional baseball team. It's called the Tide.
Fucking Tides aren't professional.
They do count.
They're minor leagues, and they're the Orioles, which is even worse.
They're professionals.
And Morales flies a ball to right field. Stop arguing before I whoop your ass. Flies out to Taylor in right field to record the second out. And let's see, the first pitch is in for call, strike one. Matthias. Last year he played in A-ball. He takes his second pitch. He swings over the top. The count is now 0-2. We are in the top of the ninth inning. There are two outs with no runners on, and the count is 0-2. Juarez is pitching for the Mets, and Matthias is hitting for the Yankees. And he fires a fastball that is just off the plate for ball one. The count is now 1-2. Yeah, that's my youngest son talking shit over there. Matthias fouls the ball off. The count remains 1-2. Yeah, because the temperature is so high in Arizona. It's a dry heat, but it's still heat. And Matthias swings over the top to strike out and end the inning. Well, A-Rod, I've got four sons. My oldest is 40. He's an aeronautical engineer. My oldest middle is a X-ray / MRI technician / supervisor for a hospital. He's grown up. My youngest middle is an electrical engineer. He's grown up. And my youngest just graduated from Old Dominion University as a civil engineer. And he's in the process of getting a job. However, the government hiring freeze has screwed him, as he was in the process of getting his job. So now he will be talking to the Navy Reserve Officer recruiter to do that 1 weekend, 2 weeks a month deal until the government opens up and he can get his permanent job. FJ, much love to you about your baseball team. Not much love about your football team, brother. And let's see, Jordani Ventura is coming up. He was an A and AA pitcher for the Yankees. He fires his first pitch in, and Taylor fouls the ball off down the third base line. Third base coach heaves the ball up into the stands. Hopefully, he didn't ding a kid in the forehead. However, you never can tell. Ventura fires a pitch down low called strike 2. Taylor sets in the box, and Ventura winds up and fires and hits Taylor on the hand to send him to first base. And here we freaking go again. Sean, my son is looking at in the Navy, going to work as a CEC officer, Corps of Engineer officer, who would work directly with Seabees. Yep, I completely agree, FJ. And Ventura fires a pitch inside for ball 2 to Acuna. FJ, I remember the days of Madden. I like Ken Stabler. Let's see. Ventura fires a changeup down low for ball 3. Count is now 3-0. Ventura fires another ball down low for ball 4 to put runners on first and second with no outs. And I am getting the deja vu from Saturday's freaking game. And Brendan Nemo steps up to the plate. Ventura sets and he fires a fastball that catches the inside corner for strike 1. We are in the bottom of the ninth. So this is do or die for the Mets. Nimmo is 1 for 4 today. He hit a single and reached on an error by Jazz Chisholm. Ventura fires a changeup that is called strike two. The count is 0-2 to Brandon Nimmo. Ventura is 9 pitches into the at bat or into the inning. Ventura fires. Ball is down low for ball one. Count is now 1-2. Ventura sets and fires a ball inside to even the count up at 2-2. Can we please close this game out? No Phillies 8 runs in the top of the ninth adventure or 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth for the Mets. And geez Louise, Brandon Nimmo hits a 3-run home run off of Ventura to even the score up at 6-6. So the game is now tied 6-6. No runners on with nobody out. And another disappointing finish for the New York Yankees. Giordani, you will be returning to the minor leagues because you have absolutely no chance of pitching at this level. Ventura fires a fastball that swung on and missed by Will Hoyt. Ventura fires a pitch right down the middle for call, strike two. Count is now 1-2. And he throws the pitch off the plate for a ball. Count is now 2-2. And Ventura fires a pitch up and out of the strike zone to bring the count to 3-2. The count is now full. And Ventura throws a cutter that he swung on and missed to record the first out of the inning. Thank God. All right, all. Obviously, there is no way for the Yankees to win this game because we won't be going to extra innings. So I'm going to cut this broadcast just short because I'm sick of this game. However, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow from 10 to 11. So, and it will be an open panel. So please feel free to jump on board and say what you got to say. I will also be calling the live play-by-play for the last game of spring training at be on board at, I think, 105 or so. You'll see the notifications. For all of you that have been here and viewed the stream, I appreciate the support for the channel. Please hit like, subscribe, recommend to your friends, make comments even after the game. I'll address them the best I can. Thanks for the support. Let's go Yankees.